So I'm going to disconnect. It's charged up too quick. I'm going to be on my way, and we've got just 149 miles to go. I've got 267 on the gasometer, and I'm going to get there with I'm going to get there with 23%. So let's plug in the old power cord, and I'm going to try and do this without turning anything off. There we go. There we go, looks alright. Oh, see that? Oh, does that go down? I don't know. Let's just angle that a bit like that, and you can see a bit more. How's that? Right. Right, let's go and disconnect. Right, let's go. There we go. Lovely chatty start, Jonathan. Wonder what you're up to today. Thank you, Gerald. Mike G was watching the previous feed, but may as well watch the live. How are you finding the efficiency? About 5 miles per kilowatt hour. Going to show Barry Crompton your new Tesla whilst you're in Preston. Yeah, don't think so. Right, let's get going. I've got to go around the bend, or can I go that way? Oh, let's just be naughty. Let's go the wrong way. Okay.
Now bear left onto Reedfield Place.
Yeah, I could go and see Barry, couldn't I? Hey, old Barry.
Now turn right onto Walton Summit Road.
So someone was asking about efficiency. 5 miles per kilowatt hour. I've done a bit on my proper camera, so I'll make this into a bit of a vloggy video as well about my trip. So let me
now enter the roundabout and take the third exit.
So the car did actually tell me not to forget to log in my registration at reception, otherwise you get fined, which I did. And there was notices.
In 500 feet, enter the roundabout and take the third exit.
There was notices all over every charger saying, "Don't forget to go and register
Now
your
enter
car."
the roundabout and take the third exit.
Reason being, it's next to British car auctions, and I could quite easily see dealers, buyers of cars, dumping cars in that car park, and then going off and picking them up a week later. I bet that's why they've done it. Because of dodgy car dealers leaving cars in hotel car parks for nothing. Well, it doesn't apply anymore, does it? That's why they've done it, almost sure. Right, back on the old M6. Now, is the indicator going to cancel itself? Yes. Seems to be behaving. Oh, green ID buzz coming up behind. I think he looks smart in that lime green. Oh, it's the van. I think that looks really nice. An auctioneer would call that nappy green, I think. I've heard them call it that green years ago. Right, 269 miles at 80%. That's not bad, is it? Sitting on the motorway at 70, which is what we've been doing. Set the cruise, set it to 70. And the only thing we're lacking, we've got adaptive cruise, the only thing we're lacking is auto steer, which is still in its infancy or beta. It's not been fully ironed out, but it needs to be, because at the minute the auto steer aspects of this car is worse than my e-Niro. The e-Niro is really good. But the great thing about Tesla is they'll just beam out a new software update and it'll be fixed, and it'll probably have more options and more what's the word, not facilities, more usableness, more features, that's the word, features. Let me go with an F. More features than what it has at the minute, I'm sure of it. That looks a real mess. That looks like something out of the 70s. What was BMW thinking? That's a shockingly appalling design, that is. I can see that design aging really quickly. It doesn't even look fresh and interesting, it just looks like a kiddie's Tonka toy. Looks like it's been made by Fisher Price. Oh, that's terrible. Or am I just getting old? So new Volvos on the back of the trailer. New V40, S4. I've sort of lost touch with Volvo. I used to sell a lot of LPG Volvos. I knew them sort of inside out. S40s, S60, S70s. The V70, the V was the estate. V40. Running on LPG. Where is he driving so close to like a random skip lorry? Someone was asking about efficiency earlier. Now I could drive at 55, I could drive at 55, 60, probably get 5.5, 6 miles per kilowatt hour.
In 1 mile, keep right to stay on M6, E05 towards the lakes.
But I want to drive like a normal person. I'm driving to the speed limit. I'm driving 60 now because there's traffic, heavy traffic behind me. But when I can, obviously I'm going to pull out and back up to 70 again. really is easy to drive an EV. I had to stop at Preston. I had to go to the toilet. By the time I got back to the car, I could have carried on my trip, but I didn't. I messed about on my phone, took some pictures, did some videoing, chatted to you guys, and then I started my trip. There is no inconvenience, I have to say, with a Tesla and using the supercharger network. I knew
Now
how
keep
many.
right to stay on M6.
I knew how many were going to be available. Told me on the screen there was 12 available. I knew they were going to work because they just always do. And if they weren't working, it would have told me on the screen. You know, the more you think about it, the more you realise that Tesla have just got it sorted. Yes, the other manufacturers have got interesting designs. Yes, the other manufacturers haven't got a nutcase as the CEO of Tesla. But when it comes to thinking through about what people want, they've just got it sorted. And they put the supercharger network in first before there was any great numbers of Model S on the road. And the way he kick-started the whole Tesla electric vehicle aspect of his business was brilliant. I mean, Johnny Smith's Model S that he's got, that I bought for him with free supercharging, that was all part of Elon's plan in the early days, was make the offer too good for drivers to turn down. They just had to get in more, even though it was an unknown quantity, because there was multiple superchargers at a lot of locations. We're talking multiple, we're talking, 10, 12. And he's basically said, buy one of these Tesla Model S's and I'll give you free fuel for life. And it stays with the car. Unless it goes back to Tesla and to their used network. But those cars are still floating around, as was the case of Johnny Smith's Model S. So he just got what people wanted. The luxurious, fast saloon type car that was easy to charge, and then throw in the fact, look, I'll pay for your electricity. Buy one of these cars. Yes, they were expensive, as in the case of Johnny Smith's Model S, £108,000, but they needed that high price, ticket price, to pay for the design and development and production of the Model X, and then that went into providing the money and the income for the Model 3, Model Y. So he started the price high to make more models, to then slowly bring down the asking price. And to incentivise that at the beginning with the Model S, it was free charging. And I think it was 8-year unlimited mileage warranty on the whole car. And that really kick-started the business. And none of the other manufacturers have gone down that route because they're still shackled to fossil fuel. If it not be for Elon and Tesla, I don't think we'd have the choice of EVs from all the other manufacturers we've got today. I really don't. I think he's forced them by example to seriously look at it. Because let's face it, all companies just want us to be shackled to buying their products. Why would they? Why would they try and discourage you from buying petrol and diesel and servicing and oil and plugs and filters? For all of Elon's strange publicity and political wranglings with the Orange Man, you can't deny the fact he's been a disruptor, and a massive disruptor at that, within the car industry. And I think that just has to be applauded, because it sent us down a path that I don't think the motor industry will ever be able to reverse. Yes, they'll talk about hydrogen, but you know how I feel about that. Did a video about that a while back. There's just not the infrastructure. The infrastructure for electric vehicles is everywhere. It's electricity. It's part of our, it's woven into the fabric of our society, our infrastructure. Unless you live in the middle of nowhere, you will have electricity. It's a bit of a rant, isn't it? But yeah. And I still think they're the best. I honestly think that this car has really, really surprised me. How nice it is to drive, how comfortable it is, and how he can adapt really quickly. Model Y came out, he'd been sort of sharing power with the orange man in the States. Sales went down, he waved to a crowd and it got interpreted as something else. So to incentivise the new Y, you just said, I'll tell you what, let's do 0%. Well, he did in the UK anyway. And sales have picked up again. He has the ability to switch direction ridiculously quickly. Whereas the likes of Stellantis, Ford, Vauxhall, Ford, Stellantis, GM, they take years to think about buying a new stapler or replacing the windows in the fancy office block. You know, they don't respond fast enough, and I think that's where Elon has the edge. He sees something he needs doing and just makes it happen. And I like that. I find bureaucracy in big business, I find it very frustrating, and I couldn't work in that environment of not being able to think on the hoof and just make quick changes. See the motorbike on the screen? Motorbike coming up behind me, look. There's only one, but it thinks there's several. I think at one time there was a push bike there. No, it's not a push bike. Not at 70 miles an hour. And it's even still seeing the motorbike ahead, look. Very good. Very, 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 very good. Well, the motorbike is now morphed into a car. If the motorbike will reappear in a minute. Right, I've got 2 hours and 5 minutes to go. 133 miles. I'll get to Days Inn with 26%. I'm in no rush to get there. I can't get in my room till 3. It's 10 at the minute, but I'll get there at 10 to 2. So, what I might do is stop at Tebay. Stop at Tebay for my backup that my mum's made me. Green is like regen, and the orange is where I've pulled power. So if you go down a hill, obviously it's going to use less energy, and your average watt hours per mile will go down. spot. Services. This is listed building apparently, isn't it? Is it made in the 50s? Looks like a giant spaceship. Yeah. Very. I'll say Art Deco. It's not Art Deco, is it? It's got a name, hasn't it? That sort of design. Amazing piece of construction. Obviously all out of concrete. Stopped there a few times in the past. I do like all the all the cones on the screen that are at the side of the road. Yeah, adaptive cruise works well, keeping me a safe distance from the car in front. I didn't touch the brake then at all. When it came off the throttle, you can see here there's this green bit here, just denoting, because the timeline goes from left to right. So it's like 5 minutes ago, no sorry, 5 miles ago and 10 miles ago. So it's not time, it's distance. Cruising at 55, the efficiency will be a lot stronger than seeing at 70. It's just physics, just pushing the air out of the way. So your fuel consumption in any fossil fuel car will be higher the faster you go. Well, it sounds obvious, but you're just pushing air out of the way, which is why aero is so important with electric vehicles. The drag coefficient, that's what Tesla have done with the new Y. He's made it, I think it's 1 or 2 CO2 less CO2 drag coefficient. CO figure is a lot less by 2. So it's ended, so let's go to the outside lane, back up to 70. It's quite gentle to pick it up again, back up to the preset speed limit. It's not aggressive. It's quite like, some can be really, I think, dangerously aggressive by speeding up possibly too quick. Transit right up my chuff there. Actually, I can show you now the rear camera. There you go. That's the side camera, that's the rear. I wonder if he's got a speed limiter on that. He's back on the speed limiter. Oh yeah, it has. He's got a sticker on the back, getting out of his way. It says, it's basically that sticker on the back door. Maximum speeds of this vehicle. So he's got his foot to the floor, but there's a limiter on it that won't allow him to go any faster than 70. And I'm doing 70, so he's indicated 70. It's probably a little bit different to my indicated 70. I think businesses do that for fuel consumption, but obviously just to stick to the right side of the law. And the sticker on the back is for people that are frustrated who want to go faster than 70, which you shouldn't. You shouldn't get frustrated. You shouldn't do more than 70 miles an hour. But yeah. Anyway, talking of the rear camera, so there's the rear camera, so you can actually also look at the front camera. Feels a lot faster, doesn't it, looking at that camera?
In 1 mile, keep right to stay on M6, E05 towards Carlisle.
So from here on in, I've always found the road tends to get a little quieter. Once you get past Preston and Cumbria and the lakes, it just seems to be not just less volume of traffic, but people just seem to drive a lot better.
Now keep right to stay on M6.
I remember coming down this hill many times in the past, Citroen C0s and knocking it into neutral to build up a bit of speed. And I was always like, oh, shall I regen or not? And, it was a toss up between regenning and losing speed, and getting down the miles to your next charger. I used to just coast and then regen when I wanted to brake, when there was no avoiding, but anything else, just try and coast down to get up the hill the other side. And I enjoyed it. It made you think about what you were doing. And now it's a bit boring. there's no thought processes. The car just does the whole lot. Elon's taken all the fun, all the adventure, all the pioneering spirit out of driving an EV over a long distance. Boo hoo, Mr. Musk. You spoiled sport. See, we're never happy, are we? We grumble when we've got short range EVs, and we grumble when we've got long range EVs. We just love to grumble. It'd be nice to do an EV trip in something like an old original Mark 1 Leaf again. But if anything, you know, it would be more difficult now than back 10 years ago, because there's a distinct lack of CHAdeMO rapid chargers. But that's where that new contraption of a CCS CHAdeMO adapter comes in, where you can then use any EV. Why has that man got his head stuck out the window in that BMW X5? sticking his head right out the window. What's he doing? Is he gone? Is he not quite wrong? Or is he going to be sick? Can you see? Oh. He's got his head stuck right out the car door. He's still got his head out of this BMW X5. What on earth is he doing? Can anybody see this? Is this X5 in front? And there's a man, he doesn't look like a boy. His head looks too big to be a boy. His head's stuck right out the passenger side. Back window. Bit odd. Maybe he feels travel sick and he's trying to. Who's driving this? Is he aware that he's. Of course, they've got to be aware, haven't they? Queer as folk. Not seen that many EVs today. Here's the Honda X1ZPQ or whatever. Oh no, that's a hybrid electric vehicle. Chicken, got an exhaust. It's got the same front as the old electric one there. Is it the NY1? NE1? Burning Kendall, 1 miles. 1 miles? So Burning Kendall is where they've got a lot of ultra rapid charges from GridServe. So it's a good sign there. But we don't need a charge. Welcome to Cumbria and the Lake District. Burton in Kendal. Hi lad. Stopped there once. I was driving a white Nissan Leaf back to Orkney and a massive dump of snow. And the range, because of the drag of the snow, just dropped. Oh, this is Mrs. P. I'm back. I'm guessing you might have heard that call. Never mind. Tebay. I'm stopping here for some lunch because I'm hungry. Don't need to charge, just here for a rest and some food. Where do I park? Make your mind up, Porterfield. Make your mind up. Well, fella. I tell you what, let's why is he walking straight in front of the car? Oh man. Are you gonna turn and look at me or not? That'll be a no then. Right, 120 more parking spaces. Let's go up here. Out of the way. Have something to eat. There we go. Oh no, Mrs. P has crossed the streams. Middle lane, I'll go. Oh, there's lots of chat going on here. Spark it. I want to keep watching, but I've had to attend my swiftly arranged counselling course. That's brilliant. Right, let's just read through all these from the beginning. Hang on. I'll do that one. And try to get over my shot that JP has switched from his beloved Kia to a Tesla. I've still got the Kia. I just got rid of the EMV 200. Doesn't that screen distract you from looking out the window? No. I see. I'm only reading it now. Okay, yeah, big screen Megane E-Tech. Nice. Have you driven? Enjoy your drive. Skip to the summary later. Thank you, Gerald, if you're watching later. Right, Mike G. The ride in the Nero, this is a lot firmer, and it's not as wallowy as the Nero, but it's not hard and crashy. The iX2 is an expensive mess. It is. This one's got stalking indicators. Yeah, well, I've gone with them all right, actually. I'm going to show Barry. Okay, so I've caught up with the chat. Did you all hear me talking to Mrs. P? I don't know. So 12:06. It's 12:27. Okay, maybe you didn't hear all the chat. Anyway, I'm going to have some dinner. I'll see you guys later.